To what extent have the recent local government elections impacted the political landscape? What does the loss of the country's key metros mean to the African National Congress? Why were most opposition parties against entering into coalition agreements with the ANC? Now, the results of the local elections likely to have any effect on the 2019 national elections? What time is it? It's question time. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Mpho Tsedu. Research by the University of Johannesburg on the 2016 local elections was released last week. The study has revealed that the ruling party still enjoys substantial support from the older generation. Younger people were split between the DA and the EFF. Against all odds, the DA has benefited a lot from the EFF's support. This has resulted in the party wrestling Nelson Mandela Bay, Tshwane and Johannesburg Metros away from the ANC. Meanwhile, the ANC's NEC has taken full responsibility for the party's dismal performance, the worst since 1994. We are live and you can therefore call us and air your views. The numbers to dial is 0891104210. My guest today, Dr. Piet Kroukamp. He's a political scientist, and joining us from our Tshwane studio is Professor Lisiba Tefu, who is a political analyst. But before we go into the discussion, let's have a look at this clip by ANC Secretary General Gwede Mantashe.
As we committed, members of the NEC will begin engagement with the people from this coming weekend. This will be the commencement of a comprehensive program throughout the country, especially in areas where we witnessed a significant electoral decline. This engagement intended to ensure that we understand and appreciate both subjective and objective factors that have led to the electoral outcomes and take decisive action against this.
That's Gwede Mantashe. So, of what significance is the outcome of the recent local government elections?
It's of enormous significance, and it is of enormous significance because opposition parties gained almost nothing in this election. The EFF done worse than expected, and the DA gained 2 percentage points. But the people who remained away from the ballot box, those who pretended to be silent, they had a lot to say. And what they said is to the ANC, we are unhappy with the way that you govern, and therefore we're going to stay away from this elections. And that's a message. If the ANC ignores it, in 2019, it will catch up with them, and they better not do that.
Well, the DA is saying, look, the people have spoken, like you're saying, and they're saying, we want the DA.
No, listen, the DA didn't win anything. What they got is they got 26% of the vote. But just remember that the minority parties, if you add them all together, they're 46% of the vote, 47% of those who voted. That's still significant. And you can't ignore the fact that 46% of the people decided to vote for parties against the ANC. But you can also not ignore the fact that a large percentage, millions of people, decided to tell something to the ANC about their happiness with the way South Africa is governed. That's much more important to me.
Dr. Lisiba Tefu, welcome to the show. A vote for the DA or a vote against the ANC?
Well, my greetings to Pete, my colleague at the North.
Hello.
I think the electorate voted for change. And the beneficiary, the principal beneficiary in this instance is the DA, followed by the IFP and the EFF. I think that's all that I'm reading into this. It's a message that is being given that says, we have given you a chance in the past 22 years, and perhaps your time is out. A new team must come in to take the batons and lead us forward.
Now, when you look at the results, Prof, where the DA has now taken over Tshwane, Gauteng, and Nelson Mandela Bay, and of course the city of Cape Town, would you say in this new metros that have now fallen in the hands of the DA, this was a vote for the DA, or it was just a vote against the ANC?
Look, it is both. It is both, but let's start with the positive one, where the track record of the DA is commendable. And for all rational beings, right, who have the courage of their convictions and are not slaves of ideology, would certainly not dispute that fact. Even the research of the ruling party attested to the fact that their performance is going to be poor, if not dismal. Yes. And the likely principal beneficiary was to be the DA. Now, the question that I would put to the people out there, who wouldn't like to get the benefit of a quality administration like the DA provides, even in the smallest municipalities where they govern? I'm saying if they were to succeed in Metro in Mandela Bay, and Mandela Bay and Buffalo Bay are divided by a river, I'm sure those who are the other side of the river, if they see those ones eating and even taking dessert thereafter, they might like to cross over. But equally, the ANC may benefit out of this by saying the people have spoken, we must heed the voice of the people, and if there is a page from the book of the DA, please don't hesitate to take that page, learn from it, and give quality service delivery to the people.
Tumeleng, you're in Tshwane. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Mpo.
Yes.
Mpo, I'm telling you, if right now you call 4 ANC people or 3 ANC people, you ask them who is their presidential candidate for 2019. I'm telling you, they'll give you they'll give you different names. We know DA can be Musimayamani. We all know EFF can be Julius Malema. But with the ANC, I'm telling you, the other one will tell you, I want Nkosazana Zuma. The other one will tell you, Balekambet. The other one will tell you, Cyril Ramaphosa. That will create a problem for the ANC. If they go with one name, the others will want to start the ANC by voting for the EFF or DA. Thank you very much, Mpo.
Thanks very much, Tumeleng, for the call there. But let's look also at the smallest of the smaller parties. I mean, today I was listening to the Freedom Front Plus guy in Limpopo. They're very excited. We've had a role to play in Mudimul. We've had a role now, and people are not just going to ignore us. Are they winners?
Well, they've earned the benefit of our electoral system, which allows the smallest of voices access to the political system. And the Freedom Front Plus is a non-event in white politics. They are a non-event in South African politics. But if it comes to the electoral system and their participation in coalitions, then they become significant, because sometimes you need one seat to form a coalition. And that's where the DA, they made a massive mistake, and the EFF held it against them, and they said to them, during your campaign, you said that don't vote for the smaller parties. Yes. And the IFP held it against them, and the Freedom Front held it against them. So you said don't vote for the smaller parties. Now you're begging us for our support. And that's where the ANC made a bit of a PR mistake. But the DA made a bit of a PR mistake. But yes, it's true. Our electoral system allows for the smallest of voices participation in the system. That's why coalition governments are actually very important. As Sigwedi Mantas today said, it's a colonial exercise. It's not a colonial exercise. Here we got our whole political system. Our whole constitution is a colonial exercise for that matter. But the fact remains is it gives participation, involvement to smaller parties, smaller voices on the left and on the right, which they wouldn't have had if you had a first past the post system. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we return, we'll be taking your calls 089-1104210, 089-1104210. Our Twitter handle at question time 24. Please don't go away. We'll return shortly.
You see this, but you feel this. You see this, but this is what you feel. You don't see this, but it feels something like this. this is what you drive. The Audi A4 110 kilowatt sport from only 5,999 per month, and we'll cover almost 3/4 of the deposit. We'll pay for the dream so you can drive the reality.
It's Macro's 45th Big Birthday Bash, and our gift to you is big savings. Get the Samsung 55-inch Smart SUHD TV for only 16,999, save 5,000 Rand. Or the Russell Hobbs stainless steel food processor, only 899, save 700 Rand. And save 500 Rand on the Tefal 7-piece non-stick cookware set, now only 999. Get these and many other great deals in-store and online with Macro's Big Birthday Bash. Macro, big on life.
Welcome back, and my guest today, Dr. Piet Kroukamp, is a political scientist, and in Tshwane we have Professor Sibate, who is a political analyst. Dougie, you are in the Val. It's been a while.
Yes, Mumpu, how are you?
I'm well, Dougie.
That's good.
Yes.
Let's hope you haven't got an oakie that's too far to the left there that's your guest, eh?
What?
Anyway, let me say what I want to say. You know what, eh? It just shows you Jacob Zuma is only caring for himself. Parkstow, he's done a good job. And I think he deserved to march on. But unfortunately, because of their leadership, they don't care about the guys underneath them. Like Parkstow, David Makura, the guy from the ANC that's a chairperson, what's his name?
Which one?
The guy that's a chairperson, Paul somebody or other.
No, Paul Mashatile.
Yeah.
Yes.
It just shows you that the government of today, Jacob Zuma and his little band of, I don't know what to say, but it's like a band, you know, a band.
Okay.
He's got a band, and he's hitting the drums, and everybody's following him.
Okay.
And he don't want to give nobody else a chance to hit the drums. He's the only one that wants to hit the drums. I mean, he could have stepped down and allowed, if he really cared about his people, he would have stepped down and said, listen, I'm prepared to be the bigger man. And step down and say, listen, I'm going to allow you guys to run the show. But now look here. Look what's happened to these guys. And I'm not for the ANC.
No, I know.
I'm not for the DA.
I know.
You know?
You are for the ACDP.
I am for the ACDP.
Yes.
So really, as far as I'm concerned, I feel sorry for the guys, and they are so blind that they can't see that these guys at the top are using them.
Okay.
They're using them. You know, I watched a thing on TV not so long ago, but now you mustn't think that I'm being ugly. It was about a gorilla. You know, a big gorilla, a genuine gorilla. And he held his head up to his dingus. And he was like shaking his head left to right with his hand on his forehead, saying, hey, look here now. Hey, look here now. So that's it, my friend.
Okay, thank you very much, Dougie, and the gorilla expression there. But, Prof, let me just come to you. Gwede Mantashe then says the coalition strategy is aimed at unseating the ANC. But isn't that what politics is about, unseating your opposition? By any means necessary.
No, not by all means necessary. We have seen what that does in the Northern Cape. I mean, in KwaZulu Natal. It's regrettable. But having said that, let's not talk about coalitions as if it's an innovation in South Africa. You and I know it started with Mandela and de Klerk.
Yes.
Under the government of national unity.
Yes.
If you go to Germany and to Britain, they've experimented with this and it worked well. If public service or public spiritedness is at the heart of the public servants, I can assure you it will work. And it has worked. The ANC experimented with NFP, it worked. The DA also experimented, it worked. It isn't new, it's not a novelty, but it needs people who put the self subsequent to or after the public.
Okay.
If Mantashe says what he says, he's less than honest with us. Much as it is about power, but at the same time, what do you do to ensure that you are not unseated?
Okay. Tapelo, you're in the Free State.
Hello, Mr. What I want to say is that currently, I think the young people of South Africa, or the people who are living in this generation, are now beginning to realize that the ANC is pursuing a wrong program. The ANC is pursuing a wrong program in that it is concerned about building this capitalist class that is leaving us behind. Currently, as we see, South Africa is a land of opportunities, it's a land of plenty, but those opportunities, we only see them on TV. We only see them opening the RDP houses on TV. The service delivery is not reaching us. So if they continue to pursue what they are pursuing now, this NDP of theirs, they are going to be left behind. What they do, they were teaching us about this Freedom Charter, and we knew it by heart. But what happened is when they go there, when you check in the government gazette, it's another story. So there's fundamental contradiction with regard to the ANC. Also, I'm currently a member of EFF. Personally, I was not happy with them getting into coalition with the ANC. But I think the strategy that they've used with regard to saying we are going to be bystanders, for just voting, observing whatever is happening, then we can be able to shoot whatever we think is wrong with regard to the budget that will be implemented to by the municipality. I think that is, for me, it's the right thing that they've done. And also what I like about the EFF is not neutral. This idea of ANC calling itself broad church and not what. You can't be broad church in a society where you have majority working class illiterate. You continue to serve what you call the rich bad cats who are living in something there.
Tapelo, thank you for the call. Thank you for the call, Tapelo. Thank you very much for that call. Let me just check with you. Why are young people, or why did younger people go with the DA and EFF and the older generation with the ANC?
I don't know if it's true what you say. First of all, we know that young people in South Africa, very low levels of registration.
Yes.
We also know very low levels of participation. And we know that there is significant support amongst the young people for the EFF, but not to the extent that I think that it swings elections. There's no clear indication of that. I think where the ANC might have a problem, and I think it's been expressed by Gwedi Mantashe before, is amongst the black middle class people. Just remember, they're not part of the state. They don't get the benefit of the clever blacks. Clever blacks might be your problem. They don't get the benefit of the patronage system of the ANC and the government. They're in the private sector. It's dark world. They live on salaries. They're middle class. You know what's the definition of middle class guy? If he pays the 25th to the 22nd, the money's finished. Exactly what happens. They said, at universities, all these students arriving there, and the problems at universities, a lot of people think it's the poor people arriving there who can't afford study. It's not true. It's the 6 million black middle class. Their children arrive there. There's enormous pressure on them. If you're middle class, you earn a salary of 400,000 Rand a year. Your child takes 150,000 Rand to go to university. That's one of them. That's the type of pressures that the middle class experience, and that's where the ANC, I think, picked up some problems. If you add e-tolls, those are people who are concerned about concerned about corruption, because they think that the disadvantage they have by having a heavy burden as a member of the middle class can be related to corruption and bad management.
Pumzile, you are in the Eastern Cape.
Good evening.
Welcome.
Greetings, Professor Crowcamp. I just wanted to pose one or two questions. Firstly, don't you think, Professor, that the coalition between the DA and all the smaller parties, including the EFF, can be actually seen as a direct betrayal of your voters. Firstly, the point is, definitely all of these smaller parties have never consulted with their voters, in fact, to hear their views as to whether will it be correct to marry with the DA. There is a contradiction in my own understanding. Today, Malema is saying they are actually of the view they have to pursue the struggle to unseat the capitalist supremacy of the DA. But on the other side, they are the same people that are going in bed with the DA. That is the contradiction.
Okay.
Secondly and lastly,
yes,
to my own view, the DA did not actually receive a popular vote in the country. It remains, in fact, occupying a second level of the outcome of votes in the whole country.
Okay. Pumzile, thank you very much. Let me allow you to respond.
Yeah, I think it's true. Let me tell you this. If the EFF and the DA jumps into the same political bed, there's betrayal somewhere. Both parties can claim, the supporters or the voters for both parties can claim because they are so far apart. The DA and the ANC is much closer to each other. And on some aspects at least the ANC and the EFF is much closer. Those two parties don't belong together at all. But I think that's why the EFF did the wise thing. They said we cannot afford to go into a coalition without betraying the people who voted for us. But we understand the need for opposition. We understand the need for political change, and therefore we are willing to opportunistically, in some other way, to get some form of leverage on the ruling party, go into some form of an agreement with you, a tentative agreement, which may hold, which may not hold, which we can change over time because we don't have a formal agreement. So I think, yes, there's recognition that coalitions could be construed as a form of opportunism and as a betrayal. Not always, because I think the DA and the Inkatha Freedom Party, the DA and the ACDP, I think they're much closer. So I think an alliance between them makes a little bit more sense.
Okay. Ibrahim, you're in Cape Town. Very quickly, please.
Three things. I think, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, let me just carry on. I think you can hear me. The first point is this. The previous caller basically just said what I wanted to. His concern about what he means as betrayal is in fact pointing to the complexity of this coalitions. And I think political analysts and journalists in this country is doing a disservice in just romanticizing these coalitions, because it is clear that people are unhappy with the ANC, but I do think an honest debate would require us to look at the complexity of these coalitions. The simple fact is that there are vast ideological differences that now are sought to be converged between different parties, and I don't see that really happening. Okay. I'm confident that within this 5 years, you're going to see serious fisticuffs between different parties, specifically over ideological differences. That's the first thing. The second thing I want to say, I think the EFF found himself in a very difficult situation, and some of the callers really alluded to this. It's difficult for it to reconcile how it is not going into a coalition with the DA, but voting for the DA. Effectively, by voting for the DA, they are actually they are contributing to the political power of the DA within the municipalities that it's
Ibrahim,
governing.
we have run out of time, unfortunately. I must just give Professor Tefo some closing remarks there. Prof?
Yeah. The last two callers seem to say to me the founding fathers' aspiration of an inclusive, united, non-sexist, right? Non-supremacy society was a false notion, and I disagree with them. And it is also not a betrayal. The people of South Africa are asking for change, and to the extent possible, people will align themselves in order to realize that change. The next point, the collapse of the Berlin Wall marked the end of ideology. We are living in the era of pragmatism. There is no ideology in China. There is no ideology in Russia. The yesteryear ideologies have given room to pragmatism. If the EFF and the DA and even the ANC finds it feasible to work together in order to realize the greater good and give quality service to the electorate, so be it.
Prof, thank you very much. Bit Krokam, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Just to Prof.
Thank you to all, both my guests there, and to you for watching the show. Let's meet again tomorrow. From me and the crew, you have yourself a wonderful time. Goodbye.
What are the qualities of a good policeman?
In the police, we look at the overall wellness of police, not just physical well-being, but also mental well-being. Also looking at economical well-being, and also looking at the physical well-being is not just about exercise and dieting, but it's also about the health and safety aspects of our members.
Nursing is a caring profession.
It's important for us to make our communities aware of those criteria, that there's academic criteria and there's some personal attributes that are all considered before a nurse is allowed to enter into a nursing qualification.
If not resolved, challenges in work environments can lead to depression.
We talk about work-life balance, and it's very important that also, if you are going through or you are in a very stressful work, when you are not at work, what is it that you are doing to take care of self?
Join Health Talk every Saturday for all your health news.
Yeah, it's more of a validation. It's more of like, okay, you're on it. Because it's been a dream and a goal from the beginning, like to get here.
The fact that the rest of the world is actually acknowledging the amount of work we put into music as Africa as a whole, I think it's fantastic. It's a big one for South Africa too.
The School of Ballet in Nigeria has changed many a mindset in dance.
Saw it a lot on TV, and we looked at it like something that probably could not be taught to us, because we thought it was like a white man dance or probably something it's their culture now. But it actually taught me that it's not just about culture, because dance is a language.
For more arts and entertainment news, catch Trends every Saturday from 12 to 1.
Technology is changing the way we do things, and social media is giving a voice to those who were once ignored.
That's what social media has given us, a place where we can be not only connected, but also be united.
On Network, we tell you about all of this, and your favorite entertainers tell us about technologies they can't live without.
My favorite piece of technology is an e-reader.
My favorite innovation has to be Bluetooth.
We have Africa's technology and social media news. That's Network with Ms. Phumelele Zondi every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Central African Time.
Now this is Trends, of course, your one-stop serving of all that's juicy and trending in the world of entertainment and showbiz. My name, of course, is Refiel Wemwilo.
I'm Dr. Sello Mutaung, and this is Health Talk.
A very good morning and welcome to Media Monitor. I'm your host, Alicia Jolly.
My name is Dumile Matez.
My name is Mpo. What time is it? It's question time.
For your daily dose of current affairs, tune in to the SABC News Channel.
It's 6 o'clock Central African time. A very good evening to you. My name is Peter Ndora and you're watching SABC News Primetime live from Johannesburg. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. The ANC retains Ekurhuleni and elects a former Deputy Trade and Industry Minister as its mayor. The ANC to debate the possibility of an early elective conference following the party's performance in the elections. Hundreds of adoring fans welcome back South Africa's fine Olympic medalists. In our top story this hour, the ANC has retained control of the Ekurhuleni Metro municipality on the East Rand after former Trade and Industry Minister Mzwandile Masina was elected the new mayor. He defeated DA mayoral candidate Khalib Kachalia by 117 to 106 votes. Newly elected Speaker of the Council, the ANC's Patricia Kumalo, made the announcement.
Total votes 224. One spoiled vote, 223 valid votes. Councillor Kachalia got 106 votes, and Councillor Mzwandile Colin Masina got 117. Therefore, in terms of item 6 of Schedule 3 of the Act, I accordingly declare Councillor Mzwandile Colin Masile duly elected as the executive mayor of the city of Ekurhuleni.
The Chief Whip still has to be elected. We'll bring you that announcement as soon as it becomes available. Now, history has been made in the eThekwini Metro with 2 top positions going to women. ANC Councillor Zandile Gumede has been elected the city's new mayor and Fawzia Peer as her deputy. They are among more than 200 new and returning councillors that were sworn into office in the eThekwini Council. Despite a protest against some of the newly elected councillors, proceedings continued relatively smoothly. The ANC won the Metro and secured 126 seats, whilst the Democratic Alliance has 61 seats in council. The DA is running the Lim 368 municipality in Limpopo. The municipality merges Mokopong and Modimolle. A new name for the municipality will be decided upon by the council. The head offices will be in Modimolle, whilst Mokopong will have a satellite office. An opposition vote saw that the ANC get ousted. The ANC attained 13 seats, the DA 7 seats, and the EFF garnered 6 seats. The Freedom Front Plus scored 2 seats. However, the DA, Freedom Front Plus and the EFF coalition was the one that ousted the ANC. Now, today, councillors, the Speaker, the Executive Committee, Chief Whip and Mayor were sworn in at the DA